kind of person who's living with autoimmune or the kind of person who's been dealing with chronic health issues? And are you also the kind of person who is always putting everyone else before yourself? Are you the kind of person when someone asks you to do something, even if you don't feel like it, even if you don't want to, even if you're too tired, you say yes and you do it anyways? Are you the kind of person who ever says no? What sort of boundaries do you have? And so I want to talk today a little bit about the connection or the potential connection behind people pleasing, boundaries, and autoimmune. And many people that I've worked with in practice and then my own experience as well are the kind of people who either in the past would always drop everything and help other people, would always do everything for everyone else and put themselves last. It could be your family, it could be your spouse, could be your kids, it could be your job. And that was the case for me. I had family as well, but my work came first. I was highly ambitious. I was in a corporate role and I was determined to get to the top of the chain. And so when other things would come up, like health related things, I didn't pay a ton of attention to them. I remember one time, I don't even remember exactly when it was, but probably a decade ago, actually a little bit more than that, where I had like the classic I had a tick bite on my thigh, my right thigh, and I had the classic tick bullseye or target. I've heard it called different things. And I was like, I don't have time for this. And a friend recently said to me, even I'm a recovering people pleaser. And I think this is something that we constantly need to work on and give ourselves grace with. But what are the things that you can say no to? Where are the little areas that you can start setting boundaries for yourself? This isn't just for people who are dealing with autoimmune, but if you're not setting boundaries for yourself, this is when health problems can become more of an issue in the future because you're not listening to your body. There's a connection, in my opinion, in my mind, between the stress that we can deal with when we're constantly putting everyone else first. And when our body's constantly in that stress state, constantly in fight or flight, healing, immunity, digestion, hormones, lots of things aren't a priority. But the really important one here, when there's any kind of autoimmune or chronic health issues, is that your immune function is not a priority. Your body is basically trying to stay alive, hence fight or flight. You're preparing to go and fight a bear, or you're preparing to go and run from a tiger. And so your body's not prioritizing keeping your immune system up and your immune function up. And this is when bigger problems can happen in our system. And so this time of year, I find it interesting because this is the time when we call flu season. As we're in November now. We've just passed Halloween. We had Canadian Thanksgiving a few weeks ago now. I'm terrible with dates. We have American Thanksgiving coming up soon. Then we go into Christmas. Then we go into Valentine's Day. And it's like, what is the constant string there? What are the two things that have a really big impact on our immune function? Stress, as I already mentioned, autoimmune, people pleasing, putting everyone else before you, putting the oxygen mask on others before yourself. Stress is a really big thing when it comes to immune function and people getting sick. And number two, any guesses? It's food related. Think Halloween, sugar. When we're eating sugar for 4 hours, there's balloons on Instagram. It's great. For 4 hours after we consume sugar, our immune system is turned down in terms of its ability to function optimally for like 4 hours. 4 hours. And how many times do we eat sugar through this time of the year when we're already in a stress state? So, if there's a lot of stress going on and there's a lot of sugar coming into your body, your immune system is going to be downregulated as it is. And then when we're constantly putting other people before ourselves, this is causing more stress on the system. So, as I said, I was the kind of person, my job was my main priority. My job is still a very big priority for me because I love helping people. And I've helped hundreds of women with chronic health and autoimmune conditions to start to improve their health without having to rely on medication alone. But this is a big part of what we need to look at. It's not something that's fixed overnight. It is something that we need to give ourselves grace for. But where is one simple area, and that's a challenge I'm going to give all of you today, where's one simple area where you can set a boundary for yourself? And that might not feel comfortable at first. If this is something you're not used to doing, it can feel awkward, it can feel uncomfortable. But for your family, for your kids, even if I've done this in the past, I set a boundary with a family member, and this family member was not used to being able to set boundaries with other family members. This person is older than me. And so I was setting an example and essentially like fixing things in reverse. But if you have children, teaching them that it's okay to set boundaries is such a valuable skill for them to learn. It's going to impact their quality of life in the future. It's going to impact their own mental health in the sense of not feeling like they have to do everything for everyone else. And then it's also going to give them some personal power to be able to say no. And so, this is my goal for you today. Pick one small thing and set a boundary for yourself. This doesn't just matter if you have chronic health problems or if you have autoimmune, but if you do, this is even more important, in my opinion. And again, this is not something that happens overnight, but what's one little thing you can do for yourself? I have a friend who said months ago now, at least, look around. Look around you at all the people that you see. How many empty cups do you see walking around? And this happens because we're all putting everyone else before ourselves. Our health is important. We only get one chance when it comes to health. We only have one body. You can replace your car, you can replace things in your house, your cell phone. You can't replace your body. You can't replace your health. So there's one challenge for you today, and I hope you'll take it. Drop in the comments if you have an idea of what you're going to do for yourself. It could be taking 5 minutes for yourself in the morning. Another challenge I've left with clients recently is when you get up in the morning, before you touch your devices, go for a 10-minute walk. This is going to be huge for your nervous system, especially if you're someone who's in chronic fight or flight. So there you go. I gave you a gimme. There's a boundary you could set for yourself. Tell your family, tell your kids, uh, tell yourself in the morning, I'm not going to touch my phone. I'm not going to do anything else. I'm going to go for a walk. If it means it's on a treadmill and it's in your house, okay, fine. If it's outside, even better. So in the morning, 10 minutes for a walk by yourself with no devices. There's a boundary for you. If you have other ideas, journaling is great as well, meditating, yoga, anything that matters to you. Set a boundary. Let me know what it is and stick with it. And anyways, for today, that's all I want to leave you with. Hope you find this really valuable. This is something that I've been working on for a long time. I was diagnosed with MS in 2005, so I have the autoimmune history as well. And looking back, I can see where I definitely leaked my personal power all over the place. I would do everything for everyone else. I would do everything for my job. I didn't put myself first at all. And so I think it's really important to start prioritizing ourselves and taking even 5 minutes of your day to put time for yourself. So let me know in the comments, what are you going to do? What are you going to prioritize for you? And if you try this and you find it beneficial, send me a message, send me a DM. I'd love to hear what you're getting from it. So thank you for jumping on with me today. Hope you got some value from this. I'm Kate McDowell from